Welcome back to the Mr. Excel podcast for Friday, January 6, 2006. I'm Bill Jelen. All this week we've been dealing with these functions that make my head hurt: the left, the mid, the right, the find, the length, the find with a second parameter. Turns out the whole week we could have just skipped all that and used something called the TextToColumns Wizard. We have this part number in column A. It has 3 segments separated by a dash. We could just use the data TextToColumns Wizard. First I selected my data, text to columns. We have 2 choices: either the data is delimited or it's fixed width. It's not fixed width because each segment's a different length. It turns out that it's delimited, so we'll choose that and click next. Now it's not delimited by a tab or actually any of our choices, semicolon, comma, or space. We're going to choose the other box and type a dash in there. You'll see that instantly in the data preview, Excel shows us how our data is going to look like. Looks really good. We hit next. In step 3, we can actually choose what kind of data we have. Because we might have some leading zeros in the second column, we probably should choose that that is text. The third column will be okay. We'll leave that as general. And then finally, we want to choose where we want the cell to go. We don't have enough space to put it in A because it's actually going to create 3 new columns. So let's choose to put that in F2. Click Finish. And our data is broken apart without having to know any of those crazy functions that I talked about all week. Now those functions do have their place, but sometimes when your data is set up perfectly like this with a delimiter, it's a lot easier to use text to columns. But there's one weird bug that you need to know about. We just used text to columns and told Excel that the delimiter was a dash. Now for the rest of the day, for the rest of this Excel session, until I close Excel, Excel is going to exhibit a very unusual behavior. If I go to another application, say Notepad, and copy some words, and those words happen to have dashes. Remember, I used a dash as our delimiter, Control-C to copy, and come back and paste that to Excel. Anytime that Excel finds a dash, it's going to skip over to a new column. This is maddening if you don't know exactly why Excel started doing this today. It drove me crazy. It would appear and then disappear, appear and disappear. And finally, I realized that it's all tied to using text to columns. For the rest of the day, whatever your delimiter was, Excel will automatically break your data apart. I've never found a time when this is useful. It's just good to know that it's there. You can close Excel, reopen Excel, and the behavior goes away. Thanks for joining us. Stop back on Monday for another podcast from Mr. Excel.